Congratulations, Apple, you've finally done it. There may have been a ton of fluff at this year's iPhone launch event, but those nuggets of goodness in between have taken me from, as a tech reviewer, I'm probably overdue to daily an iPhone for a bit, to, I want the new iPhone. Now all I have to do is figure out whether I want to spend a kidney on a 16 or give up my liver for the 16 Pro Max. And while I'm at it, whether the AirPods 4s with ANC are worth the extra $50 over the regular one. Actually, the new watch looks kind of compelling too. So let's dive into everything that Apple announced, and I'll let you guys know what parts of the ecosystem I'm excited about and which ones are going to have me missing my trusty Note 9. And I'm going to dive into this segue to today's sponsor.
Paperlike. Transform your iPad with Paperlike 2.1. Enjoy the feel and stroke resistance of paper without sacrificing screen clarity thanks to their microbead technology called nanodots. Check them out in the link in the description.
Let's kick things off with a product they didn't launch, the AirPods Pro 2s. These are my daily drivers, and while they are expensive, I gotta say, it is both cool and very appreciated to see software updates that enhance a product I already own. And the best part is one of the new features could save a lot of people a lot of money. Not only are hearing aids limited in their functionality, I mean, they're the definition of a one-trick pony, they're often prohibitively expensive for no apparent reason. Now, Apple's interest in health products has been clear for quite a while, and now that hearing aids are available over the counter, and, I mean, hey, Tim Cook ain't getting any younger, it looks like they finally pulled the trigger, taking the AirPods Pro 2s from being one of the most expensive wireless earphones to one of the most affordable hearing aids. Well done, Apple. And if you wanted the opposite, they are claiming to offer built-in active hearing protection now as well. Now, it's not professional grade. I wouldn't expect to go target shooting with a pair of these in, but pro-level ANC should at least take the edge off of lighter activities with up to 2 times more noise canceling power. And the coolest part is they'll be blending these technologies together. I often use ANC to tone down the environment around me. And I'll never forget the time that I got a DM from someone in our audience who had sensory overload issues as well, who told me how happy they were with my recommendation now that they can finally enjoy being in crowded spaces. Except, it can still be kind of awkward when you bump into someone that you want to talk to and you have to give them the old, sorry, one sec. Well, no more. With adaptive audio, Apple claims that they can automatically prioritize the sounds you need, lowering your music on cue. Then they can crank your media and your ANC back up, whether you're an Apple fan or not. That's pretty awesome. Oh, and I guess there was also some new hardware. The AirPods 4 non-Pros are getting an ANC option if you want to pay a little bit extra. I mean, personally, I think if you're already moving up from 130 to 180, I'd rather have the Pro 2s with their silicone ear tips for probably better noise isolation, but it's nice to have ANC available in the regular lineup. And the regular 4s are also getting some other minor upgrades, including USB-C charging. Oh, and I guess the AirPods Max is getting USB-C charging in some new colors for the dozens of people who care about those. Now, let's talk about the iPhone. Just like we saw on the new iPad Pro, Apple skipped a chip generation on the base iPhone, going from the A16 Bionic all the way to the new 2nd Gen 3nm A18. This puts this entire iPhone generation in a great position to support Apple's new AI or Apple Intelligence features. They're claiming it is up to 30% faster for CPU tasks and up to 40% faster on the GPU. Of course, though, that is compared to the older A16, which is in the non-Pro 15 range, and it's still a 2P core, 4E core design, but that's still a really nice uplift. Now all I have to hope for is that the Mac rumor is right, and that it has 8 gigs of their new faster memory instead of Apple cheaping out as usual. They didn't mention how much RAM the new phones have in the presentation, and the tech specs page is annoyingly devoid of minor details like how much RAM my pocket computer has. Even so, it's definitely looking like time to make the switch, at least for a bit. The action button now comes standard. I love that the display can get super bright, up to 2000 nits, but more importantly for me, it can now come down to a shockingly dim 1 nit. Guys, don't underestimate how important that is if you're using the phone in the dark next to a sleeping partner. And, this is cool, if the third-party app support can let me unlock my car, dude, I might make the change permanent. I mean, seriously, Porsche, This key really does make it look like I am compensating for something. Anyway, the iPhone 16 can shoot spatial images now for those Vision Pro users out there, and the new macro photography option looks great. Honestly, the biggest factor pushing me toward a new iPhone though is iOS 18. It genuinely looks like the absolute bomb. And sure, whether the Neural Engine and Apple Intelligence is gonna change my day-to-day life is yet to be determined. You can't overlook Apple's execution here. They have recognized the AI boom and all the pressure that's on them to be a leader, and they are just plowing headfirst into it. So if they can bring some serious hardware to the table, I mean, I never even mentioned the juicy camera upgrades, the out-of-this-world screen durability claims, or the new colors, and they can manage to make their contrived AI demos actually translate to real-world use, the rest of the market needs to be figuring out how to react to this announcement. I'd say the only thing seriously missing for the non-Pro models is any mention of a 120Hz display. I mean, you can get high refresh rate screens on like several $100 Android devices now, and I hate seeing this kind of penny pinching on what are still premium devices. I do get that they want to push power users to the Pro, but I kind of hate that here because all of the Pro's other advantages, most people don't need them. And in some cases, they seem really small. Like for one thing, Apple specifically avoided comparing the premium A18 Pro chip to the regular A18. Well, that's probably because if we look at Apple's math, 30% better than A16 and 15% better than A17 Pro appear to be pretty much the same thing. I guess the new encoding capabilities that allow the Pro models to shoot 4K 120 FPS is kind of cool. The screen is also a touch bigger on the Pro lineup with smaller bezels. You get faster USB, always on display. Okay, that's pretty cool. And they're made of titanium instead of aluminum. But even with the new image processor, I just don't see professional work environments ever swapping over to shooting on a phone versus using a proper camera. That is, unless they're working in extremely tight spaces. Just like you can use our new precision screwdriver for tiny electronics in tight spaces, lttstore.com. Apple says that the new iPhone 16 Pro is like having 7 Pro lenses in your pocket, but is it really? Maybe for travel vloggers. And that bit where they shot the Weeknd's music video was legitimately very cool. Props to those guys. But without proper support for interchangeable lenses, it's just never gonna be above hobbyist grade. Coincidentally, guys, we just shot an entire video with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and our shooters made it work. It's a pretty good looking video, but they really missed the larger sensor of a proper camera, and it took some doing to get the lighting to make it look that good. I'm getting some nods from my camera guy right now. The new audio mix feature is actually super cool looking though. At $1,000 for the Pro and $1,200 for the Pro Max, it's hard to justify when most of the new hotness, like the action button and the camera control features, are on the base models as well. And I think I'm probably gonna go with a non-Pro Plus. Changing gears, like we saw with the AirPods Pro 2s, Apple has decided that the Apple Watch Ultra 2, it's good enough already. So it's just getting a software update and now comes in satin black and has a new band. Very nice, but that's an $800 watch. And while it is great to see ongoing software support, it's even better to see hardware improvements for everyone else in the form of the Apple Watch Series 10. It's nearly 10% thinner than its predecessor while sporting a bigger display and their new S10 processor with a 4-core neural engine. They've also got this nifty new wide-angle OLED that supposedly increases brightness by up to 40% when viewing it off-axis, which, to be fair, is probably a pretty common use case for a watch if you want to do a quick sneaky sneak, what time is it, do I need to go? And there's more. The display promises faster refresh rates in always-on mode, and the Series 10 also charges faster, allegedly 80% battery in just 30 minutes, which is great for those of you who use it for sleep tracking. Also, the antenna is built into the back, making it one solid piece, and you can get it in titanium, which should be 20% lighter than the old stainless steel versions, and leave your wallet over 20% lighter while it's at it. The Series 10 can now also play audio from the speaker. I don't know how important it is to me to use my watch as a Bluetooth speaker, but hey, maybe if you take calls from your watch a lot, maybe the audio quality is also better. I don't know. They've also got cool background noise suppression working though, so people should be able to hear you loud and clear when you're speaking into your wrist. And that could actually be crucial, say for example, if you've fallen in a noisy environment and the watch is your lifeline for help. Okay, this is not an Apple Watch, this is illustrative. Apple continues to brand their watches as not just tech and lifestyle, but as a way forward to a better life with all of their health and Vitals app updates. Is detecting indicators for sleep apnea cool? Actually, yeah, that's super cool, especially given how many people have undiagnosed sleep apnea. But as an outsider, I really don't think that adopting the Apple ecosystem is gonna magically change my life. I'm gonna miss things like side-loading apps, and I may just have to maintain a cheap Android device on the side for the handful of apps that I use that aren't available in my region. There were a bunch of other smaller features that they mentioned, like new watch band partnerships and colorways. There's some rehashing of the Siri updates that we saw at WWDC, and they mentioned again how they're moving to 100% renewable energy and becoming carbon neutral by 2030. Does this mean they will stop hiring contractors to shred perfectly functional devices? Who knows? They also boasted of their supposedly verifiable privacy promise to go along with all of this AI processing. And to that I say, really? Tell that to China and the Apple data centers that are allegedly able to be accessed by the CCP. Clearly, Apple's gonna bend the knee when they're faced with the prospect of being booted out of a major market. But with that said, it's not like I've seen evidence that they're any worse than the rest of our big tech overlords. And overall, I'm super impressed with everything I saw today, especially how long they continue to support their older products. Google finally offers 7 years of software support for their new Pixels, but they're only doing that going forward. Meanwhile, Apple today is bringing iOS 18 to phones all the way back to the iPhone XS, a device from 6 years ago. So there's a lot to like from what we saw today. But I don't blame you guys who are watching this just to see what you're gonna hate this year, because as great as those devices may be, it still is a very closed ecosystem, and that's not for everybody. For the people who do like the ecosystem though, including myself, I'm gonna give it a shot. We're gonna have all the new devices linked down below. Now I just need to decide what color of iPhone 16 I want, and how I'm gonna segue to our sponsor.
Delete Me. What does Delete Me and a certain bald-headed action movie star have in common? They're all about the families. Delete Me's family plans make sharing and caring simple and affordable. Keep an eye out for everyone thanks to a central dashboard that lets you add members and set up their profiles to receive individualized reports. It's simple too. Just fill in what needs to be removed and Delete Me experts will scour the web for emails, phone numbers, addresses, and more. Their service even includes automated removal opt-out monitoring, so your records don't just get thrown back in the pile after they've been taken down. Say no to data brokers acting all fast and furious with your family's information. Check out Delete Me's family plans at joindeleteme.com/LTT20 and use code LTT20 to get 20% off. That's a lot of 20.
If you guys enjoyed this video, check out our WWDC coverage. iOS 18 is looking pretty great.